Good morning everyone, and welcome to today's event, which is going to look at workforce planning toolkits. I'm Wendy Paterson. I'm the co-ordinator of the Learning Network in South East Scotland, but I'm delighted to say that I don't need to regard this as a South East event alone, because we have been joined by colleagues from both the North, from Tayforth, and I think from places in the West as well. So I do hope that today's opportunity is about networking, what's in our name, that you can network with people who are working in organisations that you're not familiar with, as well as some you're very familiar with. We are learning at this early stage of our existence that the talk between people at coffee and at lunchtime is as valuable as, I shouldn't say that because you're about to give us your wisdom, but that it is of value too. So we're delighted that you're here today. I'm going to give you the briefest of introductions this morning, just so that we locate this occasion within the framework of the learning networks. This event has been planned among a sequence of events which have been largely steered by our management group and by the sorts of feedback we've had from consultation with stakeholders. We hope we can regard all of you as stakeholders and people who are interested in how the social services work and how they develop and how they make links with all the people who use those services. And it's a very broad group of people. I wanted to tell you very briefly to those of you who may not know this, though I guess looking at the list the majority of you do, that we were set up by the Scottish Executive through the Social Services Council basically in 2005, coming into real beginning work late in 2006 and now raring to go. We have 3-year funding and these are our 4 aims. To support registration and post-registration. Just to make a little plug, we do have a registration workshop which will come in June. This is such a key area of everybody's concern, particularly for those groups of people who know that registration is coming relatively soon, or for those who aren't certain yet what the future will hold and what the timescale for their workforce will be. To increase the quality, quantity and diversity of practice learning. For those of you who are familiar with the term practice learning, I do just want to emphasise it's practice learning at all levels. It's not about qualifying training alone. We often associate this with practice teaching. The world is changing on this. We're looking at everybody's practice and how people learn and practice, and we want to impact on that with others. It goes without saying that one of our tasks is to embed a culture of learning and continuing employee development in the workforce. We hope that days like this will be of use to that too, but of course there are very specific things which we need to do to make sure that all of us are looking at how to develop those interesting words, a learning culture. And finally, to achieve, but not finally, finally on this list, but very much important and in the first place, achieving workforce planning and development. I like the word achieve. It's not the sort of word I use with confidence very often. I like the thought that achieving is what we're about. The role of the network, briefly. I will just run through these to provide an opportunity to look at a range of models to support workforce development. Today is about you. It's about some people who have done specific work offering that to you and giving you a chance to assimilate that thinking and to put it alongside what you yourselves know and are thinking about for the future. I hope the opportunity word is also one that allows you to think, and what models do we want to create ourselves? Facilitate discussion between stakeholders across the sector. I think I've already referred to the fact that I hope very much that this day is an opportunity for you to make links with each other, to think about who's out there and to seek through communication systems the links that you want to make to take some of this forward. We are stronger when we work together on these matters, and we can make some very interesting and different links. To encourage joint working, to promote the development of new models using evidence from data and from research. We really do need to mean what we say about an evidence base for what we do. We need to think about looking at the research. If there isn't research, we need to stimulate where that can happen. And it's really interesting today that there are people here who can take forward research, small and large scale. Small scale is something which I believe all of us should be thinking about in what we do every day, because there are opportunities. And anyone of you who's heard me speak on this before will know that I can't get through an introduction without drawing our attention to why are we doing any of this. And I do just want to remind us, probably don't need to be reminded, but we are only here because we want to provide the best services we can for people who need to use them. And that does need to be the driver for all of us and be at the heart of it. I'm disappointed that I did not quickly enough realise that one of our service user or carer partners might have been interested and able to come today, but instead of the actual presence, can I just give you a quote? You'll see it, those of you who've got our spring newsletter will see that Aman Lee, who is an inspiring person and who is a service user who has influenced education for students at a range of levels and participates in Scottish Voices, the organisation that is bringing together service users across Scotland. And this is what he's written. I think it's really important that we should remember that we're working towards service users having, by expectation, by right, and by us always putting them first, that they have a role in guiding the way we do things. So in planning any workshop, we have discussion, and we've had discussion about this one. I'm just sorry there isn't somebody who's standing up where I am just now.